I'd like to call the Merrillville Redevelopment Commission meeting to order for Tuesday, April 12th at 6:04 p.m. Secretary, roll call.
Mr. Hardaway?
Yep.
I am here. Ms. Uzelak?
I'm here.
Show Mr. White absent. Mr. Pettit?
Here. 4 members, we have a quorum. Old business, pending letter from the Town Engineering Administrator endorsing Core Construction's recommendation to approve payment for application number 27 to various vendors for work completed at the Merrillville Community Center. I believe this was a concern.
Motion to approve $94,590.41.
Finish what you're saying.
Well, I was going to ask Mr. Hardaway, because he and I have looked at this. The one line item was Nugent Concrete.
Right.
Nugent isn't the, I don't think Nugent.
Nugent is not part of this.
Not part of the patio issue?
No, he's not part of the patio.
Oh, he's not.
No.
No, that's another contractor.
Larson Dane.
Larson did?
Yes.
All right. So Chair will recognize Mr. Hardaway. Did we get a second from
Second.
Mr. Minchuk? Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Let the record show that Mr. White is in attendance now.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Reardon, is there any new business?
Not at the present time, sir.
All right. Under general orders, we have a resolution. Resolution 22-12 is a resolution of the Merrillville Redevelopment Commission approving a proposed tax abatement.
Motion to approve.
Second. Goodness, Leonard, you know what it's like.
I read it before I got here.
Motion by Mr. White, seconded by Mrs. Uzelak to approve resolution 22-12. Again, for the record, this is the first step in granting real property tax abatement for the silos at Sanders Farm, which is being developed by Crow Holdings, CRP, CHI Sanders Farm Property Owner LLC, for the 195 acres on each side of Mississippi between 93rd and 101st. Any further discussion? Rich and Jeff and I, as members of the Economic Development Committee, along with Deanne Patina and Jennifer Dauphin, gave a favorable recommendation to this. Pat and Angie, we received the SB1s, correct?
Yes.
All right, so everything's in order. Any other discussion? Matt, do you have anything?
No, I've got about.
Did you bring coffee for everybody, or you just?
I got a lot better understanding of utilities and the game plan.
All right, we can talk about that under other, we got time to kill. We can have that discussion under other business here. Roll call, Mr. Attorney?
Indefinitely.
Indubitably.
Be away.
Indefinitely. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Hardaway?
Yeah.
Ms. Uzelak?
Yes.
I am a yes. Mr. Pettit? We have 5 yeses. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Motion carries 5-0. For the benefit of the commission, bring you up to speed, Angie and Pat and I, along with Matt, who is here from Crow Holdings, had a conference call with Steve as well, and our guy Jason from Robinson Engineering as to the utilities and the status of Mississippi Street and what's going on there. Matt, you want to give a thumbnail just for the other members of the RDC?
Please.
Sure, since we got time.
Okay. Thanks for having me. I since our call yesterday, obviously got much more up to speed than I had been on the call. So here's what's going on. Basically, you've got Mississippi that was a 2-lane county road. Now it's 4 lanes all the way down to 101st. There's issues with lack of utility easements, I guess would be a good characterization of it.
You can say that.
Well, I'll preference, Matt. I did look up in the ordinance, and Mississippi, in the thoroughfare plan, is dedicated as an 80-foot wide right-of-way. So what we acquired, what the previous town attorney and Bruce Spires, our town manager, bought when we widened Mississippi from US 30 all the way down to 101st, and we wrapped around. If you guys remember, we bought it all at once. We built 4A from US 30 to 93rd, and now this section is what we call 4B. We've got the 80-foot wide right-of-way, Matt, according to what we were told.
So the power poles, when they got relocated to exclusively on the east side of Mississippi, are sitting on the right-of-way line. And so from the power pole to the back of curb, not enough room to actually get in to actually do the work.
Correct.
And so we've been talking to you, Steve, and we've got some, since yesterday, I've got some ideas. The 6 lateral crossings for 2 for water, 2 for sanitary. We've got the big one for storm that really is what we're asking for some leniency on from you in terms of your contractor. Here's, I think, where we can end up. That's a 42-inch storm pipe. It's going just south of the 2 crossings you got in already. It's 1,200 feet, I think, from 101st north.
Okay.
That thing needs to just, you can't auger that thing. So that thing needs to get in the ground before surface course gets on, backfilled with Robinson watching. If we use a different backfill, something that just gets that thing compacted good before surface goes on. We're willing to spend the 30 grand on that pipe. They can be out there in 2 weeks to put it in before we close. Just as a good faith gesture to you, because there's no other way to do it, frankly. So let's just get that thing in. We'll spend the 30 grand on the pipe. We'll connect it when we do our development.
Okay.
And then you come through with your surface course.
Okay.
And then we can auger, so that's just basically a steel casing, right?
Yep.
With
Yep.
spacers. We'll
Yep.
auger the rest of the crossings for you. That premium for us, just so everyone's aware of kind of what we're willing to do to try to preserve the quality of this road, is 160 grand to do that versus open cutting it and just laying the pipe in there. And so I think that's a good give to preserve kind of that look of that road. Where we're stuck is, and we're gonna reach out to Ashad, who owns the property just to our north on the
north,
east side of
yep,
65,
yes.
right?
Yep.
I think that we can get a utility easement from him. Because otherwise, he's gonna need to pay sanitary recapture to tie into the utilities we're paying for.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That recapture is gonna be about 400 grand. So if we say, hey, we're not gonna do that, just give us 10 feet or 15 feet of space to put this darn pipe in the ground, instead of under your outward lane of traffic, let's not do that. But we've gotta approach them. So I don't know if that comes from the town, if that goes jointly through us. We called him originally to see what the availability of his land was. He wants to hold it, so he wasn't willing to sell it to us. But we need to somehow collectively come up with a good idea of how we get that utility easement for the benefit of kind of all of us in the room.
Well, I'd rather we go down the east side, Matt, because I came up that way, leaving my office today. I had to go see a constituent way out on 101st and Clay. Came back that way and looked at the house that I told you about, the lady that's been out there, Josephine's been out there for years, decades. And north of her is that new contractor's office who's got a concrete parking lot and a concrete apron. I'd prefer to avoid,
So I'm
The
talking about,
west side
I'm talking about the
could.
east side.
yeah.
Yeah, but we need a utility easement from the landowner north of our property on the east side. Because right now, those power poles sit on the right-of-way line.
No,
There's
the lady is on the west side. The house is on the west side, north of Kim's house.
Right, but I'm saying the east side. You want the
East
utilities on the
side
east side.
is in a trust, right? Up until it goes to St. Savas.
Right, with the doctor. So that's who we need the easement from.
I would ask, the indulgence, I mean, I'm speaking from the chair, but as the ward councilman, I would ask that Pat and Joe contact that property owner on behalf of the town.
Okay.
Well, no, who is the property owner?
Ashad Malik.
Yeah.
Here, hey,
I can call him, I don't care.
yeah, well,
I mean,
well, yeah, after the dialogue we had with the church and everything else, you think you'd be willing to go ahead and participate in donating an easement even?
yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be looking at 400 grand in recapture. If we're willing to waive that and just say we don't ever want to be paid back for that as long as you give us the easement, pretty darn good trade. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Well, I guess the other
Who's-
question,
Who's his attorney, Bauer?
I don't know. I'd have to find out.
Bauer wasn't Bauer his
I
attorney
think
on?
Bauer was.
Wasn't that the school, wasn't that the school issue, Sean?
Well, the school issue is, yeah, it's on Colorado. Is this, I don't know if this is the same guy. I don't know,
We-
it might be.
Our broker, Marty, has talked to him before, and from all indications, it felt like a reasonable guy. He just said, I don't want to sell my land for, right now, I want to hold it.
Well, the question, here becomes,
He's not actually selling
Well,
land.
for the easement,
He's just providing you an easement opportunity.
That's right.
here's a
We've already
dangerous
made contact
question,
with him,
Joe.
I guess.
Here's my dangerous question.
Oh, boy.
We know that that property is probably zoned, it's either agricultural or it's M1.
Right.
Are we, since we don't control the utilities, are we as a town gonna require, and I use that term loosely, are we gonna require him to hook up to sanitary sewer at a future date? He doesn't have to sell to Bat and Crow Holdings.
No.
He can sell to somebody else or he can build. Are we gonna make him be on sanitary sewer or septic? If we're gonna make him.
Listen, the way the state of Indiana is going these days, septic is going to be a thing of the past.
Well, that's what I want to get to, where we, again, what Matt's saying, I'm saving you a $400,000 recapture agreement by donating this land, and the sewer line is gonna be put in that you can tap at a later date. If you don't give the utility easement, you're on your own, and when you do come back to the town in a year or 2 years or 3 years, you're gonna have to pay the $400,000.
No, what we're gonna do is, we'll have to go in, eminent domain it
Right.
for utility easement. When we eminent domain it for the utility easement, we're still gonna lay the pipe, we're gonna pay him the value of his land, which is however much it is, but then he's gonna have to pay to tap into the sewers when he's ready to go.
And I'm assuming,
It'd be much more advantageous for him
This way.
to donate
Right.
Right.
the utility easement, have the sewer already ready to go, and then him be able to tap in from there.
I believe if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, which I've been several times before, I believe we already have town ordinance showing if the availability is there.
is there, you have
That
to.
you should have to hook up.
connect. That's what
We'll
I
have to
wanna,
double check that.
yeah.
Well, and remember, MCD is the one asking for stubs to serve that property in the
Right.
future anyway, too,
Right.
right?
Now, I'm
So-
assuming St. Savas is on MCD, right?
Oh, it's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
Saint Saba is the.
All right, well, I'll take my sewer guru right here next to me, and,
So
right,
here's,
Margie?
Thank you.
here, let me.
You're known as a sewer
suggest
guru.
this.
I'm the sewer guru.
She's the,
Sean, I'll follow up with Matt tomorrow, and I know Marty real well, and we'll get together, and then probably with Steve, we'll put that call in to the good doctor, maybe make a personal appearance.
Well, my suggestion is, if you're gonna go meet with him,
Yeah.
meet with him face to face.
Right.
Explain the situation,
Yeah.
and, say,
Yeah.
a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush,
Absolutely.
you know?
It's not like you could build on that land either way, because you got front yard setbacks. You couldn't even put paving in the area that we'd need the easement,
Right.
right? So
Right.
what are you gonna do with it?
So the six pipes you were talking about, are those gonna be directionally bored then? Or-
That's what we're saying. So Steve can get his surface course on. We're asking for basically 3 weeks, so you can't get your contractor out there next week. We need to open cut the storm regardless, because you can't auger a 42-inch storm pipe. So that's the one,
that's one of the six, though.
that's the seventh.
That's the seventh.
So we'll directionally bore the other six, which is
All right.
sanitary and water and those things. So that's gonna cost us $160,000 premium versus
All right.
open cutting it. But we can do that.
So you're asking for one open cut, 6 directional bores.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
I plan to come in and ask for an open cut and to put casing ins, but I just figured let's do the road the right way. I know how much it means to you guys.
All right.
So can you give me 3 weeks to do that?
Can I give you 3 weeks?
Yeah. Because we talked to LA sites today.
I'm sure we
They-
can figure, if your timeline stands true, I mean, again, we got a completion date. We know that.
Right.
If your completion date can hold up and stand true, I don't see a problem with it. I really don't. If you're gonna, if you have delays, you're talking months down the road.
So at 4 o'clock, I
That could be a
confirmed
different
with LA
story,
sites
so-
that they've got the 42-inch pipe available. They need to get out and shoot it with the surveyors next week, and they'll be out there the week after to install it.
Here's the deal. Bottom line at the end of the day, you hold true to your timelines, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you need delays, we're getting up to that June 15th do or die date, and the closer we get, everybody gets nervous.
Yeah, understood.
How soon can you provide us with a set schedule
For all the
for
crossings?
just for the open cutting?
I think tomorrow. They had it for me today, so I'll get them
Okay,
to follow
yeah.
up. Brent and Fred will email it to you.
Okay, yeah, the borings, the casings, that could be done anytime. That's not an issue.
Since we're
but-
gonna auger them, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that, but we gotta hold true to that. You know, 'cause our contractor literally could have finished that project last year, ran into some weather issues. That's why it's not done today. And they're ready to go.
Okay. And then
Oh, yeah.
I'll coordinate with you on whoever we want to patch it. It seems like you're a contractor. We'll just pay him to patch it since they're mobilizing.
Yeah, that's
right?
however you want to do it.
Okay.
You know, as long as they're, reputable. You know, if you want to use our contractor, I mean, that's fine.
Well, no, I think that would be ideal, Steve.
Yeah.
If they
Oh,
install the
absolutely.
road, then they should be the one responsible for patching
Absolutely.
it.
And then they can warranty it,
Yeah.
all that, right?
Yep.
All right, so I got 500 feet of pipe under the outer lane of the northern end of Mississippi to solve for, that the church has the frontage, that I don't have right away or I don't have an easement.
Now you're
Only-
talking,
Only 100 feet of that's within your new section of road. 400 feet's in the old expanded road.
you still have to open cut.
And put it in the outer lane of traffic.
North of
I've got this,
93rd?
I can bring this and show it to you, but,
Yeah, I haven't. The only thing I have, Matt, is what I showed you guys yesterday, which obviously from your reaction in the meeting, you hadn't seen that before.
no, but now I got more fancy drawings for you that tell the story better. I understand it better. So I've just got, if anyone has a relationship with the church that we can get an easement somehow, some way, that's the only way we can get the pipe out from under Mississippi for that 500-foot stretch.
Well, I've had discussions with them when we did 4A, and their two drives, and there was a concern, about them getting traffic out. So let me see if I can dig up, my contact. One of the church members lives on Colorado Street, Pat. I want to see, I'll have to check my poll book and see if I can get Mike's phone number.
I know a few people who are active in that church,
Yeah,
yeah. So
Yeah.
between the two of us, gotta
Yeah.
find somebody we can ask.
all right.
So just key takeaways, we're doing our best to satisfy what you guys ultimately want with the resources we have. So, when we don't have right of way to put it in, we need some help.
So you still want to open cut.
I don't know any other way we can do it. I mean, I know that you previously said that it's okay if we mill it and resurface an entire
Yes,
lane,
yes.
right? So that would be the fallback option, I guess. But I think that we should put forth a pretty good effort here. That-
Oh, no, definitely, yeah. No, I agree with
I
you.
mean, just to give you an idea, that force main's not going in the ground anytime soon, because we got to go through the annexation for MCD. We got time to figure this out.
Yeah.
Right?
I got you. And we're willing to work with you.
Okay.
We just, we have a clock ticking on on a general contractor we've had under contract for, a year and a half that we need to get, this job done and, out of our way. There's federal money involved in this and this is a project that, however we do it, we need to move forward.
Yep. Understood.
There's been a lot of going back and forth, and that's fine. Negotiate, I mean, it's fine, but we've got to get to the point where we're moving forward and not backwards.
Sure. Okay. That's all I got for you. So you'll see that full exhibit tomorrow morning,
Okay.
and then we'll make a game plan and get that storm pipe in the ground.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, and we're going to do that pre-closing.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Joe, you can think of?
Oh, no.
All right.
Yep.
Yep.
Second,
Is that your,
that was your motion, right?
Saying it louder, motion to adjourn.
Second.
we are adjourned.
6:22-ish.
What about Smiley's letter?